Today, I'm walking you through a full coverage makeup routine that's beginner friendly, perfect for dry acne prone skin, and instead of just showing you how, I'll explain why each step matters so you can easily understand how makeup works on your skin. This should work for other skin types as well. I start with the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Hydrating Primer Serum because hydration is the most important step for me because I have dry acne prone skin. A good primer preps your skin, prevents dry patches from peeking through, and makes your makeup last longer. I follow that with the blurring balm to smooth texture and blur pores. This gives me a soft focus canvas to build on. However, if you have oily skin, please go for a mattifying primer that should work best for you. The reason I mix foundation is to get the exact finish I like. These two offer a good amount of coverage, especially the Essence foundation. Um, the purpose of foundation isn't to make your face one flat color, it's to even out your skin tone and create a smooth base for the rest of your makeup. And because we're beginners, it is advised that you pump your foundation on the back of your hand or a flat surface before you apply it on your skin. Make sure that it's even on the brush before you transfer to your skin. This makes it easier to blend out, and when you're blending, please use a patting motion and do not swipe. That is to avoid having streaks on your face, and just take your time in blending. I think the most time consuming part about makeup is blending. The next step is blush. I'm using the Passion Pro Cosmetics blush. I love blush. It instantly makes your face look alive. But if you're not a blush fan, you can skip this step. The purpose is to bring a pop of color and a healthy flush to your cheeks. And when it comes to application, I usually place it higher up, and I never ever go below my initial placements when I'm blending. Yes, I use blush before concealer. Concealer isn't just for covering blemishes, it highlights and brightens the areas of your face you want to stand out. I use it under my eyes, on my forehead, chin, and the bridge of my nose to bring light to the center of my face. And be sure not to place blush directly on your under eyes. I have fine lines, and I noticed that whenever I do that, my makeup creases a lot easier. So I avoid placing too much product there, and I just let it sit for a couple of minutes. This is how we bring back shape to the face. I bronze with the Essence stick, and I also use the Maybelline Fit Me foundation to bronze. Bronze warms up the skin while contour creates shadows for that more snatched look. A beginner tip is to always choose shades that are 2 tones darker than your foundation for a natural looking definition. And just as foundation, place the product on the back of your hand to give you better precision. Use the same method, which is tapping and not swiping. Now that you're done with your bronzer and contour, you can now go back to blending your concealer. By now, it would have dried and got tacky to give you better coverage. And when you're blending again with concealer, be sure to focus on the area you want to brighten up. Do not move around too much, and just be careful, especially when it comes to your under eye, because again, you do not want too much product on that area. So just blend outwards, not towards your inner eye, if that makes sense. I'm not sure, but be gentle, use a light hand, and take your time. Take your time when blending your concealer and every other product, actually. Just take your time. I would also advise that you use such a brush. It is a concealer brush, a smaller brush, so that you have better precision. You can also use a damp beauty blender, but it's just a matter of preference. I prefer using a brush. And then take your time, guys. It's really, really, really important that you do not rush this process, and please do not worry about these harsh lines that you see. We're gonna fix them in a second. I just used the leftover concealer on the brush to just further snatch. So I just use it right below my contour for that snatched look. If you're not too fond of a bright inner corner, you can just skip this step. However, if you are, just place the product directly on the area you want to brighten up. Don't use too much product and let it dry up again before you blend it. And use a smaller brush for better precision, because you're not brightening the entire under eye, just a specific area. And be gentle, do not move around too much. Focus on the area you want to brighten and bring forth. And once you've blended the areas you wanted to brighten, just be sure to blend that bright concealer with the rest of the concealer to avoid the harsh lines. And once that's done, we can then move on to the most important step, in my opinion. You see all these harsh lines, the concealer, the blush, the contour. We're going to fix that just now with the brush or beauty blender you used to apply foundation. We're going to diffuse all these harsh lines. Pretty please do not add any more product on the brush. Just take the brush and blend all the harsh lines. Wherever you see a line and can tell where each product ends, just use your foundation brush. I use it all over my face, just to make sure that the products are not too harsh and there aren't any lines. Just blend in a tapping motion again. This will help you bring your makeup together. There will not be any harsh lines. This is a very important step, so pretty please do not skip it. You'll notice that once this step is done, your makeup will definitely look a whole lot better. No harsh lines, just beautiful seamless makeup. And before we move on to powders, I would recommend that you set your cream products with a setting spray to make sure that they stay in one place. And if you do not like using powders, then this will be your last step, using a setting spray. Now we're on to powders. I use the Maybelline Fit Me Compact powders. We use powder to set everything in place. Powder is important because it prevents creasing and makes your base last longer. You'll notice that I didn't take the product from the packaging and straight into my face. I just tap off the excess to make sure that I get a very light layer of powder to apply on my face. This helps me avoid cakiness, because if you do apply too much powder, your makeup might end up looking cakey. The same goes with bronzer. I just pick it up and just tap off the excess before moving on to my face. And when it comes to setting your bronzer in place, I use the same shade of compact powder as the liquid foundation I used, because it's supposed to be the same color. Use a light hand, because you can always add more, but it's very difficult to remove the makeup once you have applied it on your face. I use translucent powder to just bake and brighten my under eye. You'll notice that I just focus it mostly on my under eye, because that's where I like brightness. Yeah, and this helps me further define my nose contour. Again, I use a very light hand, and when it comes to baking, the longer you leave your powder on, the brighter it will become. Once you remove it, to finish, I use the Maybelline setting spray and the L'Oreal Infallible setting mist. Setting sprays melt down powders into your skin, keep makeup in place, and stop that dry, powdery look. Think of this as your final seal. It locks everything together for a flawless long wear finish. And if you want a matte finish, use a matte setting spray. But if you're going for a dewy finish, there are setting sprays for that. The L'Oreal one is just to lock in your makeup, and I've used this spray so many times your makeup will not move and will not transfer, so it is something that I definitely recommend. And then the final touches, I do not wear false lashes ngoba ngiyawasaba. That's the only reason. But then you will move on to your final touches, that being your mascara and your lips. And that's it, a beginner friendly full coverage routine. This is safe for dry and acne prone skin. Remember, every step has a purpose. Prep, even, brighten, add warmth, and lock in. Please let me know which step is a must have for you in the comments. Also, this is my first makeup tutorial. Please let me know how I did in the comment section, and if you would like to know anything else, I'm here to answer your questions. Until next time, do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful, and consider subscribing. Thank you, love you, bye.